Okay. How about that? That should be working better now. Mic check, mic check. You gotta be kidding me. Hmm. Yeah. Might find. Okay. It's all right. So I'll just talk at this volume while we're on here. Let's see how this works out. Let me. I know there's a lag. Let me just wait and listen for this here. I don't know why the audio is always kind of weird. There seems to be. Okay, let's try this again. Anyway, first time back. Sorry, let's get this started here. Just it's been a while, so my box there, I say, it's catching up. Talking about doing some logic checks, but there's a whole slew of topics to discuss, and I'm not really sure if you know which one to tackle. I mean, some of them are more serious than others. So here I am, super late night on Saturday night. I know most people probably already watched. Like I got carried away. I was watching Witsit debate flat Earth with a guy named Oz, I guess, right? And I was like watching those because I wouldn't really consider myself a flat earther, but the kind of the fact that they continually debate about flat Earth, um, and they don't have like some lined up documentation, right, to prove the Earth is round. um, it kind of makes you question it, right? I mean, it really does. That's where ultimately comes from is that the people debating these things online, like Witsit's very, very intelligent about it. He knows, he seems to know a lot, and seems to know a lot about what he's talking about. And he gets really deep into the science, and he gets so deep that they were lately been calling it like word salad. And when they call it word salad, you're like, all right, so clearly you guys don't know, but okay, and so this is the problem is that there's like knowledge, and I have a video on this called about like knowing things, right? So all these people, they're really smart about these things that they know, but really honestly, they just read these things, and they were told these things, and they say the same thing to flat earthers, though, right? It's equal parts, is what I'm trying to say. Is that that's why there is no definitive answer because they're all looking at each other and saying, "Well, you get your answer from some textbook," and then Witsit will come in, or the other flat Earth people. I'm just Witsit because he's like the smartest one, I believe, that I've heard so far, but or the most articulate. But yeah, he'll come through and say, "Well, here's this new science, right?" Like, and he actually reads deep into these papers where there is conflicting information. And I read studies before too. Somebody will link a study, I'll read it real thoroughly. The general consensus of the study, like over to this side where everybody's at, is going to be like, yeah, 80% of the people agree with the study's like main topic, and then the consent, the summary at the end of the article or peer-reviewed paper, whatever it is. But then you'll read through, and like as you're reading through, it'll be like, oh, the sample size was 3 people or something. I mean, it'd be like the super, super small, like really not concrete evidence when you really look at it. Okay, it's like they'll say, oh, it was 5 people because I remember one was about does religion cause people to answer differently about how they feel about the choices they made throughout a day. It was something really was like that. And they had like 5 people. It was 20 people total, but it was 10 and 10, and they switched partners and everything. But really, this study is like called back to by people, all kinds of people, and it's only 20 people that did the test. So then you got to ask like the demographics of the people, and then I think they were from like the school. So then you're like, okay, so this one school's demographic of this one kind of people, and it's just really I've always questioned it my whole life when the Gallup polls were. I don't know, I haven't heard of them for a long time. I know they're pretty big still. Gallup polls are pretty big, but they were huge when I was trying to get like my education finished. I was using them a lot to really find out more about the world and things. Um, So I'd go look that up. Like if something big was happening in the world, I'd be like, okay, what percentage of people are called racist today? Something like that. And then I go look it up, and I would find some Gallup poll. But one of the things I found out about, even in the past of Gallup polls, is that it would tell you the sample size. And what I loved is how honest they were about it, and who sampled and everything. And it's like 80% of one of the studies I read of the polls was like all landlines, and it was 20. It was like 2000, like 18 or something like that, right? And I was thinking, well, who has a landline in 2018? It's got to be old people, right? Anyway, and then that's years ago, so I don't remember the study. But I can find another one because I chase down these leads all the time, and it's very exhausting, which is another reason why I haven't posted any videos in a while. Because even when you have like the dedication and the knowledge to track things down, uh, it's just hard to find the time to even like report out on it. And who am I reporting to, really, right? Like the channel's not big. I just started it. It's just to get these things out. But even for myself, it's like learning these things is for me is just another check and balance in my head to just go, okay, I perceive this as this. I read into it real deep. I follow all the rabbit holes. I go deep down. I find the last piece of evidence, and I go, yep, BS. And even if I know everybody else believes in it, I know it's BS. Well, that's good enough for me most of the time. So I'm trying to have this channel here so we can talk about some of these things. Uh, but sometimes when you chase something down, it's gone already. It's out of the news cycle. No one even cares about it. Um, and the headline wouldn't even sell because, like I said, it's already been chased down before. Right. So, but anyway, these peer review papers we messed up. Let's get back to what I was talking about. Is that Woodsit and this Oz guy they're arguing, and I love hearing both sides. But usually the Globers come in really angry, and it's kind of like I don't know. It seems like that if you come in real hot with a topic, that should just be like, "Hey, let's just talk the shape of the Earth," right? It is just real like base level cognitive dissonance. I don't know what other psychological thing you would call it, but it's almost just assuming that they think they know the right answer, right? They're like, "Gosh, you gotta be crazy," and the other guy's like, "Well, hey, check out this thing I found that is a quote directly from the guy that you worship about your topic, who says this ulterior thing." And then so obviously you should question that. It's just like if your boss, when your boss is like, "Hey, you've definitely got that promotion, buddy. It's coming right at you. Yeah, you helped a lot." Then the end of the year comes around and you don't get the promotion, and some other guy gets it, and then you have to be, what? And those life situations should prepare you to deal with these things in the real in all aspects of the world. So you should never be really surprised that you're lied to ever, or that one person could be super well-meaning about something, right? I mean, they could look at all this evidence in front of them. I do this at work all the time. You do the best thing you can do for the company, right, or the situation. You do the best thing for your family, if you have family, if your best thing for your wife, your kid, whatever. Um, but you do what you feel is best, and you'll put that on paper. But it doesn't mean that those little like fragments of options left to the side weren't actually the more moral option, or the most cost effective option, whatever, however you end up debating on what's going on there. But when somebody says a fact like, I mean, I don't know, I can say right now, like, hey, my grass won't grow in the backyard on this one patch um, because the dirt's evil. Make a statement, and then somebody else could come look at that patch of dirt. Everybody I tell is going to be like, "Oh yeah, Greg, he lives there. He must know that that patch of dirt is evil." Somebody else could come along, look at it, and go, actually, it's because it's in the shade. You need this kind of grass instead and use this kind of manure. They would know the steps to fix it. But anyway, I'm saying it's dumb because it's the dumbest example of like a logical argument. Like, but I can't even, it shouldn't need to be said, right? You should have checks and balances of things you believe in. How about that? We just say that, okay? You should actually think about things. You same with church though. I'm pro God. I'm a Christian kind of guy. I want to say I would really love to be Orthodox from everything I've learned over the past like 6 years, but even then I haven't even started really that journey. Um, but I would say that even people that believe in God, I think if you don't uh, dig deep and question it, do apologetics, figure out if these things are true or not, then you're just blindly going in one direction, the same difference everybody else. He just reads a textbook and goes, "Yep, that's the truth." Um, I know I just hit on this truth there. Yeah, I didn't know what to talk about, but here I am. because what's it? But I do have some windows open. I wasn't sure um, if I guess if we're talking truth, I tried to stick with this YouTube video I already have up. Um, and let's see if let me see. Let me see if any of these current topics are kind of getting on me. I mean, I watch red pill content. I mean, let's see what we got here. The world's is crazy, guys. I don't know if you have or not. If you see this video, and you're like, what other things are nuts about the world, just go back and watch just all the videos I have. Like here, just right here. Let's just talk about this. Like, I don't care how you feel. See, this is the thing though. I don't worship false idols. Okay, I don't. This is okay. People are like in love with libs of TikTok, or they hate libs of TikTok. I just see their posts and then I look at it and it's just I don't take it as a fact right away, right? So if there's links, what I don't like is there's no link right here. Okay, I don't like that. I really actually yeah, it makes me upset in a way because if I was trying to act like Live with TikTok with some kind of like definitive, person to go to for a link, seeing this on the front page, knowing that they can post a whole bunch of letters because they got a blue check mark, right? They could post a bunch of stuff, pop the link into this. And so what it makes me think is that there's something shady. But see, this one isn't shady. There's plenty of examples where they are because they'll take a screenshot, but they want to include the header, the date, which is right below the header of every single online article I've ever seen before. Well, I mean, there's some sites that are weird, but that's how you know they're weird because there's no date on the article. Sometimes at the very bottom of the page after like a million ads, etc. Okay, but this one does, and eventually, I think if you click in here, somebody did because I remember watching the video. Or I either searched for it because I couldn't find it. So blah blah blah. Yeah. So here's a shorter video, but yeah, I went and looked this up, and you can watch this person. Here's a short video of it.
AMOUR. And it's a very unfortunate situation that we are here today to battle this inherently homophobic and transphobic bill that is intentionally put into place to eradicate gender nonconforming people from the public forum. While I understand that this
Yeah.
bill was put into place by an uncultured individual who hasn't actually been to a drag show, the last time we were here, the bill was defeated.
So okay, that's enough. Uh, you hear they said the bill's put forward by an uncultured individual. Now I went to a drag. What was the last drag show? I've only been to one drag show in my entire life, right? Yeah, and I went there to be open minded. People know that I'm right leaning, though. I mean, not right conservative, I suppose. I go there, men in drag, I'll tell you that story. One of them was like really earning their. They were dancing. People were throwing money at them, really earning, like doing flips and kicks and all these stuff. And I was like, it's like being at the circus, kind of. And then the other ladies that were doing it, the other ladies, uh, they were just running around, walking around like grabbing money from people. Basically, just it was like their way to get money. And I thought, wait a minute, I never thought about it from that angle because I just thought they were just doing it just to be weird, like this a thing they liked anyway. That I judge. I'm like, well, that's kind of weird, not for me. Um, and they're doing these drag shows, but they're doing it for money. So they're literally getting paid to do it. They walk through. I mean, it's just if this is one of the aspects of it, you can see why they're fighting so hard to even be able to do drag shows or even expand it out because the more drag shows you have, more paydays for these people. And that's just me looking at it from a business stance because I'm just business oriented kind of guy. But otherwise, like I mean, we don't. I don't know. Most people. I don't want this guy, this thing, the way this person's dressed. I don't want this talking to my kids about anything. Okay, there's nothing friendly about that. But my kid just saw a video on TikTok or YouTube Kids with like a scary clown that jumped up on jail cell bars and just did this little like head nodding jittery motion. It was light too. It was like lights were on. It wasn't dark ring, and she was like, "Dad, ugh," you know. Um, and then this thing comes to read you a book at school. Jesus, God help us. I mean, oh my goodness. Yeah. and they come walking up like that. I just, you know, one of the things I always said though, because even if I was like, I'm like, hey, you do you, but the thing about that anyway, I won't get that deep into it, but I say, hey, you do you. But like, I'm a professional business guy. I know people that are like IT people. I know people that are, we have all different professions, all around me of people who do different things, and none of us have a burning desire to go and share our work with kids. I don't like, I want to go and read books to kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any reason. I was trying to find another group of people that force it, like that actively wants to go read to kids. It's like, what's next? Furries, I guess, but what's different between furries and this thing in blue? I mean, if you're going that far, uh, anyway, I can't think of anybody who wants to take their profession and then you like go and like forcefully want to put it in front of kids. And even if you did, it would have to be something this opposite of Christianity, which most people are raised, even if they say they're spiritual, not religious, or whatever, they have these morals built in from this that is from a Christian foundation. That's what this country is built on. There's a huge debate on that. I side with that. It's hugely Christian based. Obviously, though, and we obviously have these morals like, hey, don't kill people for no reason. Hey, help each other out. I mean, we have all these things we do that are all nice and you know, they're all more moralistic, I guess is the word, but um, well, it's just I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to comment too much on this. I can't be canceled my first day back after you know, weeks or whatever. So we'll go back at this one. Um, yeah, just okay. So truth is important, and I talk about that the most because knowledge and knowing and truth are the most important things ever. So this is kind of groundbreaking to me, and I read this, but I know, okay, I know these things already. I don't need to read this from, I mean, this is nice from this guy to be clear about what is fake, but I think there's not enough people that know that things are fake, and I'll go ahead and call it out now, but like when I hear a debate against somebody like Destiny versus because he's leftist, right, or the liberal leftist, whatever you want to call him, and you talk about a guy who's more conservative, people that are like on the left, they really want it's like if you were debating on whether the government like um, had a project called, I don't know. Yeah, just say you thought the government like uh, ran an underground bakery. They'd be like, "There's no paper on this. There's no data to show they had a bakery. I want to see financials to show the bakery was there. All I hear is rumors there was a bakery." And then you're on the other side, like, "Yeah, the whole point of the secret is that it's a secret bakery. It's underground." They're like, and then they're like, "Well, you don't have any proof," and so they disregard it. And that's why conspiracy theorists are always right. We always say, hey, we end up being right out over time because you can see these people like me, and I don't know what's different about our minds or something. It's like you can see these pieces that like kind of fall into place, and even if they get cut off by like mainstream media or something tries to hide it, you can still kind of you see the trickle down of another piece over here, and you just can put it all together. Then you can go, man, I think this is happening. And then you meet enough other people that think that, and then you kind of put more pieces that you didn't see, they saw, or vice versa. And then you have a conspiracy theory because and then they'll be like, why was it a conspiracy in the first place? Well, because the government wouldn't just tell you they had the bakery underground, right? You had to find out through some whistleblower or somebody bought a Danish and it said underground bakery on the bottom. And but even then, if there's no damn report out, the people on the left, leftists or whatever, liberals, whatever they are in general, they won't believe it. They'll just always argue about it. It just drives me insane. And that's why they'll say these facts like, well, there's a report that says this. Well, their report is from like 2019. Okay, everybody, I hope people watching this, you understand that too, is that a lot of reports, they're not new. You can't report on something current with like a data model. So it's always behind. And if you try to go forward with data models, they're not, set in stone, right? They're fuzzy. They can always move because you don't know the future. So that's why you'll look up a study and you'd be like, okay, here's the statistics for 2023. Is probably what's coming out right now, and everybody could read 2023 stuff now. But last year, this same time, you could probably only find 2022 for most things like murder rates, deaths, etc. Right? Where otherwise you'd have partial info and you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. So anyway, they always want to have their reports. So here's their smoking gun, right? Right here. An example of and the reason why I like to see these examples. Let me just before I forget, we read through this is that this shows you that it's possible and it's being done. So if you have it done one time, that means it's done other times. Okay, like the likelihood is you can't say that like, oh, this is just one list that's fake to push a narrative to do this. What? Because then you got to start thinking of why are they doing it, right? Why are they ignoring a book? Why are they doing it? And getting into that is more conspiracy because they're not going to tell you, right? Until it would take some big explanation for them to come out and go, okay, well, this is why we did it. And even then, you can't even trust the words out of their mouth because they already proved to you right here in this file, this video you're looking at, or this clip, that they already lie and they just want to either like make the most money for somebody, maybe not even them. Maybe they exclude books from their list because they want their friend Bob to make the money. Their friend wrote the book. Whatever the reason is, you just as long as you know these things happen, for this it can happen for other things. Okay, New York Times bestseller is fake. All right, this is what the guy's saying. So they were forced to admit in court that it's not a ranked list. It's actually editorial content, quote unquote, and they can include books that they don't like. Okay. Let's read it. The Times, which had always claimed that the list was compiled from from computer sales, countered in court that its list was not mathematically objective but was editorial content and thus protected under the Constitution as free speech. Uh, Blatty appealed to the Supreme Court, which declined to hear the case. Thus, the ruling stood the New York Times bestseller list was editorial content, not objective, factual content. And they had the right to exclude whatever book they wanted. So, this happens a lot, though. Like I just peeled before that, but you got to realize that if they do it, anybody could do it for anything, for any reason. You have no reason to believe that Oprah's books. Remember, like how Oprah will promote a book and that's the best-selling book in the world, whatever, for like a month and then it goes away, right? Because it's not really that good of a book. She just promoted it, and there's always some underlying thing, like a narrative, right? Like if it's about abortion, and I'm gonna say it that way for YouTube, right? Abortion. If it's for that, then like that's a big topic. Then that'll be the book of the month. It'll be something about how I survived and abortion at the end because they always want to push these narratives. And I've got a video up, my YouTube video up. We can go over that, and I'll click around that a little bit before I end it. But it's an old video, and I'm sure some people have seen it, so that's why I'm waiting for the end. Don't want to bore you too much. Uh, the truth stuff is one of my biggest things. That's why I really have always stuck with watching Jay Dyer. These big, I've probably name dropped him in a few of my videos here that I've done. Um, Jay's a really smart guy, and he tracks down this stuff, and he talks about all these things the CIA does, how the FBI does bad things. Um, you just and there's a deep state, and then again, people that are more left leaning will always argue, "Where's the proof?" And it's like, dude, we're fighting against literally like for truth. We're fighting against the biggest corporation in the world, the United States government. Like we're like you can't. They don't just have a document that's like, "Here's how I did this super sneaky thing that I'm not supposed to do ever," and we XX people's eyes for doing these for for telling we did these things. But yes, here's my written letter that these things are happening. It's insanity. Okay, like today you can see over there it says like trending topics: the Moscow attack, World War III. Like that just happened, right? So the attack in Russia. At the minute I hear that, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm so conspiratorial. The minute that happened, um, it's like, okay, it's fake. Not fake in the fact that nobody died. Not fake as in there's not people doing it. Fake is in like it's not genuine. Okay, it's not no like the other problem is I just say it like this. Of course, if two places are warring with each other, then wouldn't people from that side go in and start shooting the other side? Or is it the fact that it's civilians that makes people think they wouldn't do that? So then when our government, when we immediately know who the enemy was, when they tell you like, hey, it was ISIS hands down, it was this hands down, it was this hands down, I'm like, wow, you came out with those facts pretty quick. Like you had an inside loop to that, right? Like you didn't have any kind of, and then like Russia caught the guys later and then got their identities, but we already knew what they were, right? Everybody knew, well, those are ISIS dudes. So timing is weird. Man, look at all those trending things though. That's interesting. Okay, so we'll keep going. So, I labor on that. Oh, the TikTok ban. Oh, that's a topic I like to talk about a little bit. I don't know if I have anybody chatting. Let me just check. I got a window that's hidden. Okay, there's nobody. I don't think. Oh, I don't know this thing. I don't think it works. One time I saw. Let me double check. Let me just bring this up just in case. Okay, boys, just in case. Yeah. So I don't think so, and that's okay. Again, I just gotta get this stuff out. Um, but one of the things that I do talk about with my friends, we talk about like the TikTok ban. I said, look, hey, I have the TikTok version that's the actual like Chinese one, and it's very different from the American version. Um, if I just go through my head with what I just saw like the last 2 days when I was kind of like doing research on it to see if it's changed at all, they do have thirst traps, right? They do have um, hot Asian chicks with like yoga pants and stuff on. That's probably the worst they do. Maybe like the K-pop star girls with like the tight shorts, and then they always have a thing where like they're allowed to not they can't show cleavage. They can't show cleavage. That gets blurred out, and then I forgot what else gets blurred out, but there's certain things that gets blurred out. Like every video you watch that's got any girl in it automatically. We're like in America, we don't, right? So our TikTok has a lot of weird stuff on it. Um, but yeah, they have their thirst traps, right? Because there'll be a girl doing yoga or whatever. But yeah, even on a live, I had a video of a live I was going to share one time where the girl was like doing like workouts live, and then she bent forward, and every time she bent forward, she was like deathly. I mean, she was like very quick to cover her barely cleavage. I mean, it was like nothing compared to American women or whatever. Like there's, it's like okay, but yeah, very strict rules they have on there. Um, about one every 20 TikToks you scroll through is a advertisement for their military, and it's either like it shows their leader, and it's got all this like dramatic music within different angles and artistic things going on. Um, it's also got buff men, a lot of strong, a lot of buff men ones, and I got on this trend because one of them was like chopping wood with his hand, which is crazy. But anyway, it's like they show that they show kids dancing, people dancing in general. And I don't have an account on there, so it doesn't track my algorithm. So it's not like feeding me, the one things I like. It's just everything. Uh, what are the? Oh, cooking. There's food. But the foods. Oh, I mean, yeah. But they cook a lot of hog heads and stuff. You see that? Um, yeah, that's really it. Military demonstrations. I mean, but it's very wholesome. Um, I just saw today, just a little while ago, looking at it, the most offensive one for them that I've ever seen. It was a guy and threw two chicken breasts from out of his shirt down on a table to cook it, and the other guy told him to shut the f up. But they did bleep it, right? They obviously shut the poop up. Um, and then it was really suggestive. Like the video is highly suggestive way you can cut chicken. Um, but yeah, sorry, I'm just imagining the whole thing in my head again. I'm like, geez. But yeah, then I was like, oh wow, that one's probably gonna get that'll probably get banned. Unfortunately, I can't follow them to track them, but yeah, they do have a lot of weird stuff too. But it's not, it's all just not our same level. Okay, you definitely nobody criticizing the government. Absolutely not a single bit. Okay, so then you have like the American TikTok, and the American TikTok it does seem to be more subversive. When I do the live chat feature, I know that like Andrew Wilson, the guys at Crucible, Jim Bob, um, who else? They do the Twitter takeovers or the TikTok takeovers, and they go on there and they argue with those guys. But man, what I noticed, and I have a video on this, an older video on it, the TikTok debater problem. Um, 'cause I don't like that whole setup anyway, and there's a lot of gatekeeping. And but anyway, the problem with that is that when I look through there, most of the people's lives are all degenerate shit. It's all I don't. It's like I don't even know. I want to get into it. I guess I don't want to get canceled. I'm trying to find the right words to say. But let's just say it's none of it is. The first ones you fight through, it's all anti-religion. I mean, hell, even one I found was okay. I'll say there's a lot of phobic stuff on there. They'll say you're phobic, and they'll make a bunch of reasons why you're phobic. If you stub your toe Monday, you're phobic. Um, but then they also have like one time I saw a video, a chat, um, a TikTok live going about adoption being really bad or something like that, and I was really confused why adoption was seen so bad. I mean, they're saying it was like horrible. Like they're saying adopting a kid was like the worst thing you could do. Like I think they even said it was worse than slavery. One guy said, and I was like, Jesus, okay, that's pretty strong, man. Um, wow, but that's how lost people are, yeah, I guess, in the world. But anyway, so the TikTok ban, when they're trying to get rid of TikTok, I see it as, some people are saying it's a Trojan horse where they were going to have it would ban other things and it would allow for other problems to happen, like they could take over other companies. Oh, sorry, with like false alarm things because we know we can't trust the government. Why would we ever give them the power to do anything like this? This is the problem. I can't even if I believe, like I just told you, how subversive it is to our society, there's some good things in it because we can question the government. So that's one of the most important things that's on the American TikTok. If you can't do it anywhere else, right? If you well, okay, X you can, so yeah, Twitter you can, um, but like Facebook is like a I can't I don't even know what happened to Facebook. I mean, I see now on there is degenerate. Like ads to try to clickbait you or something. I see a lot of no, yeah, nobody's sharing the truth. Is what I'm saying. Because I remember people would share a picture of um, Mark Zuckerberg with like lizard legs or something, and it's like you're banned for 30 days. And so, like they've completely destroyed any kind of even jokes, right? Like, because who really think? I mean, come on. I know there's lizard people beliefs out there, but it's like it's a picture of him like it's the most ridiculous picture where like it's a joke about it, right? And you still get banned. Um, and it's really weird. It makes you feel, it's just like, hey, and it makes you feel like they're hiding it. Therefore, because you're not allowed to even talk about it, maybe it's true a little bit, right? That's what you start to get on that path of that. But anyway, yeah, the TikTok ban. I mean, it makes you wonder why they don't ban other stuff. And I've seen this argument before too. So I mean, I know you probably heard it if you're watching this. They shouldn't ban just TikTok and then let all this other stuff go. I mean, they just found out like there were studies where Instagram was a place where people were trading child uh, photos, like bad child photos, and they were proving it that Facebook and Instagram, like their connection, people were trading these videos and photos and things, and it's a cesspool. It's absolutely freaking disgusting, nasty place. But they're okay. They can be up. I've never utilized Instagram. I don't even understand the point of it really when all these other things exist. Um, I don't even I just don't even know what it is. I mean I don't even know why you would why follow anybody unless they're like my family and stuff on there. Why would you even because it's just photos. So if my wife's like, "Hey, who you following on there?" and then they're like, "Well, all dudes or all chicks, I guess, right?" Because it's either like I follow one chick and get into a fight with my wife, or I'd follow all the chicks and get into a huge fight, or follow all guys and just see a bunch of dudes all day that I mean, guys aren't even like that with each other, right? We don't care. Anyway, it's weird, right? Um, there's a lot of those social media things like that. They're real big, and I don't know why. And when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, oh, that's probably what's holding them, right? So there's some kind of shady deals going on. But anyway, this is a joke post anyway, right? This is why they want you to ban TikTok, and it's just, yeah,
I couldn't
it's
cut
the
it as a
goofiest
poor
thing.
man stealing. Tired of living like a blind
I don't think
man.
you can hear that,
I'm
but
sick of sun without a sense of feeling.
they're
And
saying,
this
"Is
is
this
how
how
you
you
remind
remind
me.
me?" it's goofy. Uh, okay, truth stuff. We'll just keep going on this truth thing, kind of. So this girl, I thought I had seen her a long time ago. But anyway, she came out. Remember, she caught a gator, and there's like some other girl was talking about that girl, and um, yeah, I don't even remember. I don't want to click on it. Really, it goes so deep this rabbit hole. But this person, I found them. They're called Lo-Fi Republican, and they posted what I was thinking about this too. I thought, yeah, isn't that goofy? And so they actually have an entire thread where they break down that this is all a ploy for her to be for her clicks, right? They just want to get her more clicks. They just want to get her more notoriety, more accounts. And then I'm disappointed because when you look here, you see these people that I follow, right? That I thought, they're like somewhat legit. Sometimes I question what they post because it's viral all the time. These guys all between each other, pretty viral. I don't know, Ian Miles Chong, kind of different, but the cat turd is usually funny, and you'll see me having a lot of their posts that inform me of things maybe I didn't see, and I'll follow through. Um, Dom Lucra had some really cool stuff, and then um, but for them to follow this blindly like this, because it's the narrative that she's the American conservative girl, and the person that was talking crap about her um, is like a leftist. I'm not even sure it's a cis woman. Anyway, I didn't look at that person that closely, but it's like anyway, I saw this person and they're going nuts, and they're back on. Um, they go back on Twitter. They're like, "Hey, I was off Twitter before, and now I'm back on." They get a ton of followers, and then the guy even says he even says, "Oh, look, she accidentally." I'll click through to see it, where she posts an advertisement like the same day. So people were calling her out, and she goes, "Hey, I had 2.4 million on Facebook, 1.4 million on Instagram, 700K plus on Facebook, and 2. Why should I say that? Facebook twice. Yeah, uh, and 2.1 million on TikTok before all this started. I had a video in 2016 go viral with catching catfish, right? Because that's what I thought. I remembered her doing that already, where they were like, "She's a hot catfish girl" or whatever. She goes, "So if you didn't think I was famous for her, Google my name." And then he goes, uh, "She's already shilling energy drinks on here, you you effing morons." Yeah, so there she is. She got an energy drink, and then she marks it. And then he goes, "Oh look, whoops, caught shilling 4 hours into making your new account. Better edit that out." And then she did, so she changed it. There's no longer the drink company. Um, so listen, just the truth is, so all that evidence I just see right there before me. Again, just a shill, just a person that's just they they went to a viral marketer person. The person, hey, here's how you do it. Start some fight with her that says like this girl is trashy because of her voice. Um, and then they get in this big argument back and forth, and all these people jump on the left side and the right side. They all get together, and in the end, this girl becomes even more famous than she already was. And she's got the money to pay for all this stuff already because you already know she had all the followers. She has a company. They're building houses and shit. I mean, I'm just saying, like, this should piss you off. And then there's people on here that I love. They were arguing back and forth. There's people on there like defending this girl, um, and they go into these huge things. So here he's like, "Hey, is it a psyop?" He's like, "No, it's just viral marketing." So it's like, hey, it's just it doesn't really hurt. And yeah, she's still a conservative chick. I mean, she's a conservative girl. That's fine. All those things map out. It's just that the reason behind it isn't natural. And I would be a little upset if I was the energy we put into this stuff. I'm not saying I'm a super like energy being type of conversation person, but like we do put energy into these things. You used your brain power to think about it. Use your emotions when you were like, "Who's this person making fun of this conservative?" People are putting all this energy in, and they're following this person, and they're probably buying this energy drink because it supports her or whatever. They're gonna follow her on all those medias because they want to make sure she's okay. And that's all fake, and you've been manipulated. And that's what this person wanted to say, and they argue it straight through this. And I think that's very noble. I think that's what we should be doing is call that out. This person should be called out every time she appears on TV or any kind of thing for it. From here on, maybe at least one good time, not forever. Um, we should be called out for it and go, look, hey, was that whole argument was fake, right? I mean, it's absolutely fake. Um, anyway, but all these people followed her for it, and it makes me question if they're real as well, right? And their ads. I get so tired. X. The worst thing about the new X is the ads after every. I can't even tell anything here is real except that this lo-fi guy is actually replying to people, so I know he's real. And when he has conversations, that's real. That's a whole nother thing too. Let's see. Let's see. Anyway, there's people defending her, and and the guy points out he's like, it's not about that she's not a real person or conservative or whatever, right? It's just that she's not this helpless, never known before. She wasn't attacked for real, and so there's just too many lies, too many lies. Uh, oh man, the people that can't think for that. There's so many topics I want to cover. I need to write out my little makeshift whiteboard so that one day I actually get to it. But I want to do some more professional videos than just doing lives, right? I want to actually go and uh, clip a bunch of information together to show people because I want to teach people things. Because I also want my name of my channel is job hunting, and so there's hidden meaning in the words there, but it is job hunting. I would like to help people get jobs. My first couple videos doing that are they're lame. The audio is bad. Um, I forgot what I was using at the time, but anyway, it was just you could barely probably hear it. You probably have to struggle through it. I know one person watched it and wrote me and said thanks for the tips, and it was like about resumes or something or applying for jobs, whatever. And um, I really like to just help people live. Like that would be the greatest thing. And so maybe I should go out and like farm for people and say, hey, at this time on this day, do you want me to live help you find a job, etc. Because there is some setup that needs to be done as well too. I can't. I mean, if I look for a job with my Google login name, every job site I use is going to be my preferences auto loaded, and for me to unload those, I don't even know if you can. I've tried with like LinkedIn and stuff. It's really hard to find jobs for other people because it blocks things out for me and my pay range that I'm in as like a seasoned businessman. So um, I think my advice is solid and sound and all that, but I think I could train people on how to get better jobs, like literally train you on better skills. If you need the help, you ping me. Need to learn Excel. I like showing people Excel. I think I can teach it pretty well. I got this close to teaching Excel professionally to a bunch of old business guys, but that's still in the works. Anyway, a little tangent there. Um, yeah. So the Tyson's food thing, I wasn't really able to. I see it's reported on different things like Daily Mail. Who else did it? It was like on Fox News. I think, yeah, I'm not saying it's not real. The Tyson food thing where they're laying off. Sorry, if you know, go read it. They lay off 1,300 people in a pork plant. And they're offering jobs and lawyer help to help illegals become um, legal citizens. So they're going to hire 42,000 asylum seekers in New York. So the the thing that I was trying to do is look up their yearly reports and their 2024 like first quarter reports because this is the end of the first quarter. Well, some places it's the end of the last, but anyway, this will be the first. Like right now will be when these things get released, and during those reports they'll be um, having discussions on what they're going to do and how they're going to send things out. And unfortunately, I do have to end this episode right now, and I'll come back with one right after this. Uh, I will do an episode on truth. This other one here. We'll watch that little YouTube video. I do need to take a break. It's very suddenly, so I'll be right back.